Hello everybody. So in the previous session we had discussed with this Unix concepts. There is few of the concepts we had discussed in the previous session. So that is how to execute a basic commands and its syntax, and as well also its usage. So what kind, how after execution what might be the output of it, so how it is going to be provided the output by executing those commands we have seen. And also we have seen that few of the instructions, that is a flexibility of using the Unix command. So how it can be used. So in that few of the things were like in the flexibility of command usage, we had discussed with how you can combine the commands, and also we have seen how we can let us if any of the if I want to print a message by using an echo command, so how that particular message in an entire screen, if I want to print more than a line, so how it would be, because in a screen it would take only 80 characters, okay, that is in a line in that window screen it would take only 80 characters. So after that if I want to print a few more content to be displayed, means that is the message has to be displayed means, so how we are going to do that. So Unix what it does is it is going to provide us a redirection operator, that is a command secondary command prompt, okay. So that by using that redirection operator you can go on entering a message which you want to display by using an echo command. So that is what we have discussed. So as I said in the previous class, one of the command usage, that is flexibility of command usage in Unix, okay. So in that one I had discussed with combining commands, okay, combining the commands. So you can combine the commands by, so if I have two commands, that is one is who command and the other one is if I want to use an ls command means, so you can separate those two commands by using what, this semicolon. So this is how you can combine the command. And even if the user want to output this to another file, so he can combine these two by using what, braces, that is parenthesis, that is this brackets, okay. So by using this brackets and by using a redirection operator, so this redirection operator is, again we are going to come to know about more about this redirection operator, which we call it as an output stream for redirecting the output from one to another, from source to destination file. So that we are going to understand even more in the coming sessions also, okay. So you can redirect these two commands output to a one file, like if I want to output to note.txt file means, so you can output it. So this is one of the flexibility which has been provided in the Unix. So and likewise we do have one more flexibility in the usage of a command in the Unix, that is you can, as I said, the message which you are going to print, using echo command can be overflowed, okay. So this message can be overflowed. So that can be off because in a screen, as I said, it is going to accept only 80 characters, okay. So only 80 characters it will be accessing. So and remaining characters, even if I want to print means, always it is going to use a secondary command prompt, that is this redirection operator. So this is what one more flexibility which has been provided in the Unix command. Likewise Unix, it is going to provide us with entering a command before previous command has finished. So even we do have that option also. You can enter command before finishing previous command. So before finishing previous command. So enter a command before finishing a previous command. So we in the Unix we do have full fledged option of entering a command even after execute. Now you might have written a command like for execution what, ls command. Okay, so this, it might take few of the seconds for printing the content of, that is output of it. So if the user want to execute in between, that is before finishing this command execution, he can enter one more command for execution, that is like who command, or it might be any other command. Okay, so before actually providing the output of this command execution, you can enter one more Unix command for the execution. So even this option is also provided in the Unix. So this is what about a flexibility of command usage in Unix operating system or in the Unix platform. Okay, so we do have these flexibility in the Unix, that is how you can access the command during the execution of your program, that is command execution. So the next concept in this is man documentation. So what is this man documentation represents? So in Unix, if the user want to get an help, that is what kind of an command we need to use for any kind of access in the Unix operating system, and also if the user doesn't know what is the syntax of it and what will be the output for it and what and all the options or the arguments we need to provide for that command. So all these can be known by the help of this man documentation, because in the Unix platform it provides you a man page with what? A complete online help. That is, a complete online help means within the Unix platform itself. So it is going to provide you the complete information about which and all the command the user want to know, what the command is, what is the syntax of using that command, that is what kind of syntax you need to use, and whether any option has to be provided for that command, arguments has to be provided for that command. So all these can be provided, that is known by using this man documentation. So that is why in Unix this is known as what? An online help for knowing more about the Unix commands. So this man documentation, what actually it provides? So this man page, we always refer this as what? Man page. So man page provides number of compulsory and optional sections, as I said. So in the previous session, even we had discussed with like a few exception might be there while using the Unix commands, right? That is what kind of an exception you might have. Like a few commands might accept the options and a few commands might not accept the options at all, and few commands might accept the arguments, few command might not accept the arguments as a for that particular command, right? So how to access all these information? So that is what this optional sections represent here. So it provides a number of compulsory and optional sections, and what kind of an information it is going to provide while executing. So if I want to know about, let me take the ls command, or if I want to know about this wc command, that is word count command. So if you just give man wc, so this is going to provide you with the name of the command, synopsis of it, and description. So these are the three major parts or the information which will be provided for any of the Unix commands if you just execute with the man. So that is, if you need any help about the command in the Unix, what that command is all about. So if you want to know about those commands, always these three sections will be provided. The information about those commands, these three sections is common to all of the Unix commands, like name, synopsis, and description. So what does these three section represent? So first, name, it presents one line introduction to a command. So name always provides you, so always it will display like this. So once you execute this, so it will display with name, it will display with syntax, it will display with, sorry, not syntax, synopsis, it will display with description. Okay, so these three sections are common to all of the command. So it will provide you name section going to presents one line introduction to a command. So what is this command? So this command is all about counting the number of words or the word count, and in that word count it is going to include the number of lines, number of words, number of characters. So these three information will be provided if you just execute what? This wc command. So always, and this wc command, it will accept arguments as well as it has what? Few of the options also. Options means what here? So options, as I said, if the user, while executing the Unix command, if the user want to know about, let me take this command itself. So this command wc, what does it do? So it is going to get you the word count, right? And as I said, this word count, it includes number of words present, number of character present, number of line in that particular file which you have provided for getting the count of it, right? So let me consider I have given pg.text file. Okay, so in this pg.text file, I might have around 10 lines of 10 lines, and within that I might have around 50 words, and number of character might be more than 100. Okay, so if you just provide wc with pg.text, so this is going to provide you with all these three information. So that is what this name. So what if in case in this text file I want only the number of characters to be counted. So at that time you are going to provide wc with option C. So this option C, what does it represent here is, it is going to represent that only it is going to display for this pg.text file. So if you execute like this, pg.text file means, so it is going to get you the character count of this file pg.text. So let me consider I might have around 246 characters. So this is what the output you are going to get. Likewise, if I have given wc-l pg.text, so L represent here number of line count. So in this pg.text file I might have 10 lines with the file pg.text. So this is what the output you are going to get. Next, if I want just to count the number of words, so at that time you can use the command wc-w pg.text file. So -w here represent word count. So I might have around 50 words in that pg.count. So 50 words in the file pg.text file. So this is what the output you are going to get for all these three command execution. So we call this as what? Option. So here that syntax and option will be listed out in the synopsis section. So this is going to give you the syntax of the command wc. Next, description. So what does this description does here? So description section always it provides, as I have represented here, detailed description of that particular command. So detailed description of that particular command means what? So which and all the options you can use, and what kind of and how many arguments you can use for that particular command, and all of the different option and usage of that, how to use with a combination of all these three options or only with combination of argument itself. So all these description will be provided in the description section. So that is what this description does here. Okay, so name, synopsis and description, these are the three section while understanding about any of the command with respect to what? Man command. That is, any Unix command, if you want to know more about that Unix command usage means, always use what? The man documentation help. So this man documentation, man followed by any command if you give. So this is what the information you are going to get. Okay. So here in this man command, what it does is, so we call this as browsing the manual pages online. So even this is known as what? Browsing manual pages online in Unix platform. Okay. So in Unix platform, browsing the manual pages online. So if you want to know more about the Unix commands, so then you are going to use this man documentation, browsing the manual pages online. Okay. So next is in this, as I said in the last section, it describes what? The description section. So what actually this description section, as I have already mentioned, it is going to provide you the detailed description here. So in the synopsis section, we have seen that it is going to provide you what? The syntax, the syntax of the command. So in the syntax of the command, it includes what? The option section and argument section. Argument, it might be the file name also, right? And option section. In this option section, In the synopsis section, what it does is, so it is the one that we need to examine closely in the synopsis section. Why? Because with reference to the man page of the, it is always provide you the syntax and its option of using it, okay. And also if a command argument is enclosed in the rectangular bracket means then it is optional. So here let me consider the command syntax for using the WC command is WC, and if the option has been option in this while displaying this WC command, if the option has been enclosed with a square bracket means it is optional. So either you can use these options or you might just execute directly with the command followed by what? The argument or the file name. This file name is represented with arguments. Okay, so that is what this WC command represents. So if any command having an optional if any command having the option with the square bracket, if it has been enclosed, option section if it has been enclosed with the square bracket means then it is optional of using the options. Like if I consider -w, -c and -l, so all these three options are optional while executing the WC command. It's not mandatory that always you need to use what this options -w, -c and -l for the execution of WC command. Okay, so this is one important thing you need to know with the synopsis section. And also if the ellipse that is if any of the Unix command has been ellipsis implies if it has been enclosed with an ellipse like ... this if it has been enclosed along with the WC command means then it implies that there can be more instances of the preceding word. So it can have what? More implicit of the preceding word, and also the expressions you can provide more than one file name as an argument in that particular expression, which means that let me consider WC. Okay, so if I want to count the number of one instance of this example, like ellipsis idre like what does this ellipsis represent? So if I have WC command with the two files pg1.text comma pg2.text. Okay, so you can have this file expression with more than one also. That is, you can have this two expressions together for one single for this instance WC command. So pg1.text, so it is going to get you what? The number of word count, character count and line count of both the files pg1.text and pg2.text. So this is about your man documentation command. And also this man documentation command, as I said, so it is going to get you the detailed description, right? So while displaying about the complete detailed description, like for few of the commands we might have more than 10 options. Okay, for few of the expression commands we might have the usage in different ways. So the complete information about that can be viewed, because in a single window screen you can't know about what complete information will not be displayed. You have to either scroll it, okay, that particular page, or the information what you are viewing, either that is either scroll it up and down like that, right? So in the Unix man page in the man page we have an inbuilt pager program which has been provided for this. So if the user want to just instead of using a user friendly graphical user interface like mouse for moving the scroll button up and down, instead we have one of the pager program which has been pre-configured in the man documentation page itself. So we call that as what? Pager program. So this pager program, it is going to provide you with what? For displaying the more information as well as for displaying what? The less information. So more information, it always represents with what? Providing the detailed description about the more information will be displayed by providing the detailed description now available, which has been available universally, and this less always provide you with just a standard information. Standard information is being provided. Okay, whereas this will provide a complete information universally. Complete information universally. Berkeley pager page. So that is the one which has been provides a complete information about by using this pager program, which means that you, instead of scrolling it, if you just press this more or less, okay, so it is going to upper arrow and down arrow, while this pager program will provide you upper arrow and downward arrow for displaying this more information as well as with the less information. So all this I am going to just show you practically, like how to execute all these commands and how it will be displayed. Okay, so how this man page is going to be displayed, I am going to show you practically how it has been shown and executed. So this is about your man page. And also in the man page, if the user want to view more than a page information, as well as that is one screen, complete screen which has been visible, previous screen as well as the screen which is presently we are viewing it. So we can navigate that and search for the information which you are looking for that particular screen. So we have two options or the commands which has been used for this. So in that, one is the F and the other one is for B. So F or space bar here represent to display one screen of a text at a time. So complete one screen of a text at a time will be displayed by using this navigation and search command, that is F, and one more is B, which is used for searching the information which you have viewed it one screen backward. So F or space bar displaying, F or space bar for displaying for a screen text at a time. Okay, whereas B is used for what? Back screen, that is for displaying the screen moves back one screen, moves back one screen backward. So this is navigation and search bar for what? For while displaying the information about this any of the command by using what? Man browsing manual page online. F for displaying a screen text at a time, and B for moving back one screen at a time. So next we do have a few more options, that is few of the options command for this man page for displaying. So in that, one of the information about this command is further help with. So if the user want to know further help with one of the options, that is option K command, and one more is apropos command. Okay, so what is this -K, and one more is what? Approps, and last one is what is. So here in the Unix we do have a standard, that is a POSIX standard. So this POSIX standard specification requires the man to support only one option at a time for the execution of any of the command. So most Unix system also offer this approps command, as well as one more is what is command. So what is this -K command is basically used for? So man -K awk file. So here what does this do here is, it is going to list out the summary database whenever you have used with an option K. So if the user want to know the complete summary database used within a system for any of the program which you have executed in that, then you can use this option K with awk argument. So this is going to print out the complete database of that with a complete database description in a one line. So that is what this -k AWK represent, that is option K represent. So this is basically used to provide what, a summary description with regarding what, a database. Likewise, one more is what, apropos command, or this option, it is used for, so if the, as we know that, so for connecting between the two, that is while communicating between the two end users through a network channel means, so you need to use what, a few of the protocols to be used for connecting between the two end user. So here, so knowing about that, you can know that by using this apropos command, that is a file transfer protocol has been used. This is going to list out the commands and files associated with the FTP. So which and all the files have been associated for this networking between the two end user, for communicating between the two end user for this particular protocol, that is file transfer protocol, which and all the commands have been used for, and also the list, it is going to list out the files associated with this file transfer protocol for communicating between the two end user. Next is what is command. So further that is here what is command, actually it is going to provide you several command line options to help user in getting the brief information about what. So for knowing about the brief information of a specific Linux command, then you can use this what is command. So complete brief information about one specific command. Let me consider a CP command. Like if the user want to know just a brief brief information about this CP command means, then just give what is space CP or the command name. It might be any of the command. So now I have given CP, even you might give what, ls also. So this is going to give you just a brief introduction or a command usage of this ls command or a CP command. So this is how you can know about the more with the more help further with what, this man documentation. One is with -k and one more is what, apropos, and one more is what is. So this is going to list out the list out the associated files related with the file transfer protocol or with the protocol for communicating between the two end user. -k will list you the summary detail about the database in a one line description that will be printed. And what is command, this is going to be used for what, knowing a brief introduction about that Linux command, that is what is. So this is about your man page or a man documentation. So next we do have so as in Windows operating system, we do have a user friendly way of accessing the few of the files, right? Like for closing a file or closing a program, you can just with a one click, so just with one click you are going to close a file, that Word file, or it might be a complete program what you are editing. So that will be just using just a one click, it will be closed. But here even though nowadays it is a graphical user interface has been provided here, but here since it is a completely command based, so if the user while editing your program, we don't have an option of just by pressing a backspace, you can't just delete all your contents what you have edited. Likewise, just by pressing a delete key, it will not delete. Okay, so we do have commands, shortcut keys which has to be used for while anything is being going wrong during the execution of a program or during the editing a program in a file, okay, or in any one of the editor of a Unix command. So in Unix we do have VI editor, okay, and Emac editor. So most commonly used here is a VI editor. So in the VI editor, it doesn't have an option of just by pressing a backspace. So if it is in a read mode, if just by pressing a backspace, you can't just delete all the content what you have entered, and with the delete key also. Okay, for that we do have few of the options you need to use. Shortcut keys has to be used for deleting and all. So when things go wrong, so which and all the shortcut keys you need to use for Unix command execution, that we are going to know now. So I'm going to just provide you a shortcut keys list out the shortcut keys which is going to be known during the execution of a program when things goes wrong. So those are the shortcut keys you need to use. So in that, one of the shortcut keys when things go wrong. So what if in case if the backspacing doesn't work? Backspacing doesn't work. So if backspacing doesn't work, so what it is going to be done? So backspacing if doesn't work means always you can use what? One of the shortcut key, that is Control H or a delete key. So this is one option of if backspacing doesn't work, Control H or a delete key has to be used. Likewise, if the user want to completely erase or kill a line, killing a line, a complete line which you have edited, so then you can use what? One of the shortcut key, Control U. So by mistake user might have edited a complete line wrongly, that is a few information what you are editing either in a program while editing in a VA editor. So at that time, while execution of a program itself, if you have written a complete line wrong informations, and then you can edit that complete line can be in a single shortcut key, you can erase it, that is by using what? A shortcut key, Control U. Likewise, a line kill. So here, so line kill here represent here you can interrupt a command, interrupting a command execution. So if the user while executing any of the command, if it takes more time for the execution of it, and if the user want to execute further another command in between, that means he can interrupt that execution of that command and he can execute the next command. So that interruption shortcut key is Control C, or just you can press what? Delete key. Control C or just press what? Delete key. So this is interrupting a command. So for terminating, next for terminating a command, terminating command, that is after the execution of it, if the prompt doesn't display means, so for terminating that command execution you can use one of the shortcut key, that is Control D. Okay, so this is one more option of using a that is during the execution of a program, if the user want to completely terminate that command execution means he can do this by using a shortcut key, Control D. Likewise, we do have one more control key when user wouldn't be able to key in anything. So while editing a key, that is any content, okay, so if the user has no option of editing anything on that editor screen means, so at that time he can just use one of the shortcut key, that is Control S. So this is going to provide you what? So due to this Control S key, due to this Control S, it has locked the key for key from editing the content onto the screen. So just to come out or restore the edition of it, you can use what? Control Q. While editing a content, editing content in keyboard, through keyboard, okay, not in keyboard, through keyboard, keys might get locked. So that is due to might be we have pressed Control S key. Okay, so few times we might have used this S key along with the Control S. So Control key. So this might have locked the complete editing this content through this keyboard keys. So at that time, just to restore it, you can just press what? Control Q. So this Control Q will restore the edit for typing the content using the keyboard keys. So next is what if in case if the enter key doesn't work at all. So if the enter key doesn't work means, So what we need to do? Enter key doesn't work. So if the enter key doesn't work means, so what we need to do? So you can use either one of the key, that is Control J, okay, or you can use what? Control M. So by using this two keys you can enter the screen. Okay, next. So what if in case if the terminal behaves in some erratic manner? So at that time, just to restore it, restore the screen back to its erratic manner here represent erratic manner. So while execution of a any command execution, you might get an abrupt command output or some error also. So at that time, just to restore it, we are going to use one of the stty command. So this stty command, what it does is, it is going to restore the previous configuration for the execution of any of the command. So that this again will come to know in the coming session. So what actually this stty does and what is the usage of it. So this is going to always provide you what pre-configuration of the complete in a pre-configuration about that commands. By using that commands, what and all the command, for what purpose it has been, you have got the erratic output, or the erratic mannerly it has been provided the output. So at that time, just use this. We are going to know about complete command configuration just by executing stty command. Okay, so this is about your information that whenever things go wrong while execution of a program, few of the shortcut keys you should be known. So as I am going to just mention it out, stty sane, if you just provide stty sane, so this is going to restore you back the terminal in a normal status, restores to normal status. And as I have already mentioned, Control D is for terminating the command and Control C is for terminating the interrupting a command. Okay, next even we have seen Control H for what? Control H for backspacing. If backspacing doesn't work, just press Control H or delete. So even you can use delete for this also, for terminating a command. Okay, and even if anything goes wrong in while editing it, so if the user want to completely erase that line, use Control U. And while pressing that is while editing and content used through a keyboard, keyboard might get locked due to Control S key you might have pressed. So just to restore it, for restoring that key which has been locked, you are going to use Control Q. Control Q has been used, and to kill a line you are going to use Control U, as I have already mentioned. And Control J and Control M is for if the enter key doesn't work, just go with these two shortcut keys. So these are the shortcut keys which you are going to use when things go wrong during the execution of a program. So this is about basic introduction about what the Unix command, and also few of the shortcut keys which has been used during the execution of a Unix command, here. So now let us see few of the basic commands, that is utilities which has been provided within the Unix, like as I have already mentioned. One is basic commands, cal command, date command. I have already specified you it is like what actually those commands all are. Who command, we do have one more command, bc command. Likewise we do have one more command, echo command. Next is printf command. So let me just go through this about all these few of the basic commands along with its options also. So in the previous session I have just explained with what all these commands are about. I have not mentioned with this printf command, but the other commands what I have specified, I have already mentioned it what it is, but now just look into it like which and what kind of an options we are going to use for all these commands. So let me consider one by one. So in that first command is cal command. So what is this cal command? So cal, already we know that it is used for displaying a calendar. So if the user want to specifically display the month of that particular year, complete month information of that particular year means, then he has to provide an argument for this. So cal followed by what? Cal. So if I provide the month as 03 followed by 2020 means, so this is going to provide me with March month, complete month will be displayed of the year 2020. Likewise, if I just give without any month, if I just give 2020 means, so this is going to completely provide me the complete year of that 2020. Next is date command. So this date, we are as we all know that date command here, it displays what? The complete day information of that. So if I just give day means, so this is going to provide me with what? Today's time on which day it is and at what time I have executed this date command. So this information will be displayed by using this date command. So what it is going to show me? So if I just execute this so if I, since it is Tuesday now, so Tuesday, okay, so today is Tuesday with the month is what? September, year it is 2020. Okay, so first it will display the day, next it will display the month, next it will display the year, followed sorry, it is not going to display the year, it will display the day of today's, that is today's date is 01, followed by next it will display the date and time. Okay, so the complete time, at what time it has been executed. So 16:12, this is our minute second, followed by Indian Standard Time of the year 2020. So this is what the output you are going to get when you execute the date command. So Tuesday, September 1st, so this is what the time it is, like that. And what if in case if the user want to know or just to display what? The only the month or only the year, likewise, or only the day of it. So we do have few of the options for this date. Okay, in those, while accessing those option, always you need to use what? One is the percentage symbol and the other one is the plus symbol. So I'll just let you know what does this percentage symbol and plus symbol represent. So date followed by, so if I want to just display this month name, okay, so if I want to just display this month name means, I am going to use H with the single quote, it has to be enclosed. Sorry, not single quote, you have to just use what? Percentage H. So this is going to let me know current month. So the current month is what? September. So this is going to be displayed. So plus here always it is going to append the month of that particular date command. So date command, for if I want to just display the month of this month's name means, I have to use what? This H. Likewise, next if I want to display the number of that particular month, so at that time day plus M, then M represent here the month number, followed by next is what? H. If you are appending to format specifier, so we call this as what? Format specifier. We call this as format specifier for this date command, okay, because you are displaying what? The month and its name. So at that time you can use both together by appending that to a date command for displaying the month of that particular year by using this M and H format specifier. So percentage symbol has to be provided, always it should be preceded here. So M represent here what? So this month number is 9 with the name is September, like this. Okay, so this is how we are going to print or get the output of this date command, a specific month and a specific month name. Okay, likewise we do have format specifier for others also. So in that, one of the format specifier is D. We do have one more, that is Y. Next we do have H, M and S. Okay, D represent here the day of the month, the day. So this is going to display day of the month. This is going to display the year. This is going to display hour, minutes and second. And as I have already specified, this small m and small h represent what? This is going to display the month. This is going to display the name of month, like this, M. And next D, and we do have two more option format specifier. One is D and one more is T. So capital D represent here date in the format with some format, that is mm/dd/YYY. So here represent month, day and year. Likewise T represent a time. So time is going to be displayed with the format hour, minute and second. So these are the format specifier used for date command. So this is one more option, that is, these are the options used for what? Date. And here for this we are not going to specify it as an option, it is a format specifier for a date command. So next we do have the next option, that is next command, as I have already specified while writing it, that is echo command. So what does this echo command does? So as we have already seen previously, echo command is basically used for displaying a message, right? So this is one thing of usage of an echo command. One more usage of this echo command here is, one is displaying for display a message. One more, this echo command is used for evaluating a shell variable, evaluating a shell variables. So even for this also it has been used. Like one instance I can give it as what? Echo $shell. So what is this shell here? So shell represent what type of shell you are representing, that is you are using for the execution of a command, which kind of shell interpreter has been used. So we have already seen while explanation of our Unix architecture, I had explained that shell can be represented with 4 variants. One is bash shell, Korn shell, C shell, bash, Korn shell, C shell. So in these variants you can use what? With these 3 variants we can go with what? We can execute a commands by using these 3 shell variants, bash, Korn and C shell. So basically we always we go with what? This bash shell here. So if I just execute this command with the shell variable, that is shell, like this, so it is going to get me the output like this, /user/bin. The shell used here is what? Bash. So this is what the output you are going to get while execution of this output of this command. Okay, that is user bin/bash. And as I have already specified, one usage is what? Displaying a message. So while displaying a message, I might have given echo, the name is Ram. Okay, so I might have given like /n. this escape sequence have ended while displaying the message. So what happens? So at this time the output will be like the name is Ram, but the cursor where it will be placed, whether it will be placed here itself or whether it will be placed after this line. So if you have provided with /n, it is going to point the cursor after this line. In the next line it will be shown, but if you provide the escape sequence, that is C, always the cursor will be placed at this here itself. After this message itself it is going to be placed, that is /C escape sequence. We do have one more option, that is /T. So /T, it is going to, as we know that one tab space, that is 8 character space will be provided if you have used what? /T. So /T, the cursor will be placed after displaying a message, cursor will be placed at the same line. /n, after that particular line. /T is used for what? Displaying a one tab space after that message. And here also, by using this echo, you can display the ASCII. By using this echo command, you can display the ASCII values of few of the characters also. Or if the user want to know the beep sound, so at that time he can use what? /07. So this 07 is an ASCII value for providing a beep sound. Okay, so if you just use echo /07 with single quote, so this will provide, it is going to echo what? A beep sound. So this is about a echo command, okay, in the Unix basic commands. One is we have discussed with cal, and one more is date command, and lastly we have discussed with what? Echo command. So the next command in this is what? A printf command. So what is this printf command does? So already we have seen in the C programming also, that is printf state function is used for what? Printing a message. So in the Unix platform also, printf command is used for what? Printing a message. Okay, so that printing a message here, it is used for by using this printf command also you can print a line or display a message itself. So printf, always a string of character if you are displaying means, then sequence of character if you are displaying enclosed with the double quotes as with the echo command. Okay, even you can use what? A format specifier for evaluating a variables also. So as in echo command, it was used for evaluating a variable, right? So here also the shell variable is format specifier, yes, with the /n, provide the shell variable. Here the shell variable is shell. Okay, so if I provide like this, output will be like this. The shell variable is /user/bin/bash. So this is what the output we are going to get. So it is going to replace the complete output of the shell variable with the format specifier %yes. So that is what this printf statement even does as like a echo statement. Likewise, if you want to print a number, use the format specifier digit, that is D. Even you can use for floating point number for printing F, and if you give 6D, which means that after giving a space 6 space a digit, it is going to print the 6-digit value. Likewise for F also. Even you can print what? Octal values also with %O. Hexadecimal values also you can print with %x. Okay, so these are the format specifiers used in even in the Unix operating system. D, F, O. So this is for digit, floating point number, octal values, and this is for hexadecimal values. So this is about the printf command in the Unix. As in C programming, you are going to execute your printf statement, right? Likewise, here also you are going to execute the printf statement. Sequence of character will be enclosed in the double quotes. And if you want to print a number, print a string, then string print. If you want to print a string, use %s. If you want to print digits, use D. Like floating point values, F, octal values, and hexadecimal values. Echo is also used for the same, for displaying a message and for evaluating a variables. Okay, shell variables. So this is about your few basic commands of a Unix. So in the next session I am going to discuss with the few, again 2 more commands I have left out with this. One is who command, bc command, okay, and lastly that is stty command. So we do have one more, that is uname command also. So all these commands we are going to discuss in the next session. Okay, so as of now it is with these things. So in today's session we have discussed with what flexibility of using the Unix command, followed by man documentation, next followed by what, this basic commands along with its options. So okay, thank you. So in the next session we will discuss with the next few more commands. Thank you.